Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
The New York Times saying that it has gotten copies of President Trump's much sought-after tax returns. We'll tell you what we're learning about the returns and what the president has to say about them. And 6 people are shot outside of a gentleman's club on Detroit's west side. What we're learning about the circumstances surrounding that crime. But first, big changes. We are watching Storm Tracker 4 as wet weather continues to move through our area with more on the way. And the weather tops our news here at noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Evrod Cassimy. You can see some cloud cover there as we take a live look outside through our sky cam. Meteorologist Brandon Rue is tracking the wet weather for us and the cooler temperatures. He joins us now this afternoon. Brandon, good morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Evrod. It's Monday, and it looks like a Monday, feels like a Monday. Badly needed rain is finally on its way. Garden variety, nothing crazy or severe, and really not seeing any lightning right now either, but starting to get going and moving into parts of our south zone down in Lenawee County, getting a little wet there, close to Adrian, Morenci. It is riding north up through western Washtenaw County into Livingston County, where we've got some light to moderate rain coming down. A lot of us on the east side or east of 275 aren't seeing much. We do have clouds, though, over the entire area and just waiting for that rain to fill in. So low 60s, and that's pretty much where we're going to stay here through the rest of the day. But showers will begin to fill in, and we could see 1/4 of an inch to some areas maybe seeing upwards of 1/2 inch of badly needed rain. You can see again on a wider picture, still heavier across western lower and everything moving from southwest to northeast. So we get a push of still some milder air that won't cause too much in the way of a big cool down, but we've got another cool front to contend with more showers this afternoon and cooler air in the 7-day, Evrod. I've got some more rain chances looking at the rest of this week as well.
All righty. We are in for quite the afternoon, Brandon. We'll be checking in with you again shortly. The investigation continues now after 6 people are shot outside of a gentleman's club on Detroit's west side. You're looking at video there from the scene. This happened earlier this morning, right in the parking lot of the Sting Gentlemen's Club. It's there on Michigan Avenue near Clifford Street. Our Victor Williams was on the scene when the story first broke. He joins us now with a closer look at the circumstances surrounding this crime.
The 6 people that were shot right outside of this strip club overnight are expected to be okay. DPD, however, is looking for the person or persons responsible for firing the shots. Police are still investigating the shooting that left 6 people hurt right outside of the Sting Strip Club on Detroit's southwest side. Police say a little after 1:45 a.m., a large group of people were outside the club after a party had just let out. Apparently, a suspect or suspects pulled up and started firing shots into the crowd. From there, 6 people were shot. Evidence markers show where the shell casings hit the ground. The victims, all in their 20s, ages range from 20 to 28. 2 males are in critical and a female victim is in an unknown condition. The remaining 3 victims, we're told, are stable. Police would like to hear from you. If you know anything about who might be responsible, you can leave an anonymous tip with Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. In the meantime, we are reporting on the southwest side of Detroit. Victor Williams, Local 4.
All right, Victor, thank you for the update there. The newest FBI report on violent crime has some encouraging numbers to report, but the city of Detroit has the unwanted distinction of the most violent city in America. The FBI reports that violent crime in 2019 was down 0.5% compared to 2018. Violent crimes include murder, rape, robbery, assault, car theft, and arson. Violent crime in the city of Detroit declined last year. However, Detroit had the highest rate of violent crime among the nation's large cities. The Detroit News quotes Detroit Police Chief James Craig saying homicides and non-fatal shootings are up dramatically this year, and that's likely due in part to the stresses of the pandemic. In 2016, President Donald Trump broke a decades-old tradition of presidential nominees releasing their tax returns. His first term has been plagued by suspicions of what could be lurking in those returns, but now at least part of that mystery has been solved. And it appears that most average working people have been paying a lot more than Donald Trump has in taxes. A New York Times investigation is now providing insight on Trump's tax and financial information, including how little he's paid in federal income taxes. Just 2 days before the first presidential debate, a new report revealing some of the information President Trump has worked hardest to hide, his tax returns. A New York Times investigation revealed Donald Trump paid only $750 in federal income taxes in 2016 and 2017. Soon after the report was published, the president called it fake news, saying he's paid a lot of taxes.
Well, first of all, I paid a lot, and I paid a lot of state income taxes, too. The New York State charges a lot, and I paid a lot of money in state. It'll all be revealed. It's going to come out.
But the Times reports the president has been fighting with the IRS for years over a nearly $73 million tax refund he claimed. If he loses that battle, it could cost him over $100 million.
They're doing their assessment. We've been negotiating for a long time. Things get settled, like in the IRS. But right now, when you're under audit, you don't do it.
Despite the president's claim, tax information can be made public, even if he's under audit. The Times also saying that Trump paid no federal income taxes in 10 of the 15 years before he became president because he reported losing much more money than he made. Another detail in the Times investigation, painting a damning portrait of Trump's success as a businessman, a selling point that he's used to rally supporters on the campaign trail. Adding to that, the Times reported last year that based on tax forms from 1985 to 1994, he lost more money than nearly any other individual American taxpayer. The report also reveals the president has spent nearly all of the $427 million he made on the TV show The Apprentice to help fund his other businesses. And he owes more than $300 million in loans that he's personally responsible for over the next 4 years. According to the Times, Donald Trump used his status as president to attract business to his private properties, like his hotels and golf courses, to help offset his financial problems, creating direct conflicts of interest. Trump has also written off massive deductions, including more than $70,000 for hairstyling expenses and hundreds of thousands in consulting fees for the Trump organization that matched payments his daughter Ivanka received from a consulting company she co-owned. Joe Biden's campaign says the Times report is another example of the big contrast between Trump and the Democratic nominee.
It's the latest reminder how clear the choice is here in this race between Park Avenue and Scranton. You have in Donald Trump a president who spends his time thinking about how he can work his way out of paying taxes. With Joe Biden, you have somebody who has a completely different perspective on what it means to be a working family in this country.
The tax return obtained, the data obtained by the New York Times doesn't include Trump's personal returns for 2018 or 2019. In the meantime, many people are asking, how did the New York Times even get this information? Well, in a statement, the New York Times says that the information was, quote, provided by sources with legal access to it. Then the statement goes on to say again, quoting, we are not making the records themselves public because we do not want to jeopardize our sources who have taken enormous personal risk to help inform the public. Meanwhile, the stage is set for the process to confirm President Trump's nomination of Amy Coney Barrett to the United States Supreme Court. Confirmation hearings for Judge Barrett to fill the vacancy created by the death of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg are set to begin on October 12th. However, a new poll shows a majority of Americans want to wait for the winner of the presidential election to fill the Supreme Court vacancy. Now, if she is in fact confirmed, the 48-year-old Barrett would be the youngest justice on the court.
If confirmed, Justice Barrett will make history as the first mother of school-age children ever to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court. That's good.
And if confirmed before Election Day, Barrett would take part in hearings on the Affordable Care Act, which would begin right after the election. Well, this week brings the first presidential debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. That is scheduled for tomorrow night at 9 p.m., and the debate will take place on the campus of Case Western Reserve University and the Cleveland Clinic. Host Chris Wallace has chosen 6 topics, and they include the Supreme Court, COVID, and the integrity of the election, and they're going to spend 15 minutes on each debate topic. Our Grant Herms and the Local 4 Trust Index team are going to be fact-checking the first debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. They're going to do that for you live tomorrow. You can start watching the debate on Local 4 at 9 o'clock, and while watching, you can also follow all the fact-checking on our website. Just go to clickondetroit.com as you watch. In other news this afternoon, here's a look at your coronavirus headlines as new data from Governor Whitmer's office reveals that blacks in Michigan are contracting the coronavirus at the same rate as whites. Now, you might remember the minorities suffered a disproportionate amount of cases and deaths at the beginning of the pandemic. In the meantime, beginning tomorrow, COVID-19 testing previously held at the state fairgrounds will relocate to the Joseph Walker Williams Community Center on Rosa Parks. All tests will be conducted indoors. And we're also learning that Almont High School in Lapeer County is stopping in-person classes, and this is because of COVID-19. And then on the national front of things, the United States has now surpassed 7,117,000 confirmed cases. More than 204,000 people have died from the virus, and these are numbers from the Johns Hopkins University database. So to come here on Local 4 News at noon, as coronavirus case numbers continue to spike around the country, Florida's governor has made a controversial decision. We'll tell you what that is next.